Thank you for joining us. And now there have been so many orders, executive orders, policies, but let's start with the biggest elephant in the room, the one everybody has, and most especially been talking about, and that's the removal of the petrol subsidy and its impact. Our correspondent went around Lagos. We've seen fuel price increase to about 590 naira per litre. In Abuja, we've seen it to about 617 naira per litre. So how would you assess this initiative and its impact that it's having on the economy?
Well, Rita, truth is, if there is an emergency and the blood is being spilled all over, you move, okay? With speed, one, to try and stop the bleeding. That naturally will shake a couple of things. And if you're not careful, you may even, some of the blood that you have tried to stave off, you may spill them. I'm making a point here. Removal of subsidy in its strictly intrinsic policy value is more than long overdue. That we have not removed it because we have been consuming and we have not looked at production and looking at the efficiency that we should have gotten from the refinery that we had. It's all split costs, as we say in economics. Now, today, yesterday that we were thinking about yesterday, so what do we have today? Things are bleeding so badly. Smuggling is going across the borders. We believe we are enjoying relative lower prices when we were subsidizing and smuggling across the borders, and a few were going on. So I am happy at that. However, when you have an emergency situation and you have a medic come to you, one of the things we are going to be looking at, is he or she a medic? Yes, no. Okay, is he appropriately attired? Yes, no. Does he come with chicken and whatever and chewing gum and all that kind of stuff? Is that what you expect to see? Even if he's the best medic that you can find, my point, the optics surrounding the fact that we need to cut our coat according to our clock, as said by the policymakers, and they seem to be doing some other things. Or we seem to be doing some other things. That's what we perceive. It's not good for the system. So a situation where you are supposed to have some pains, do with some of these pains, because you see the person that is trying to bring the treatment to you is also in some form of pain.
So Akin, are you questioning the implementation process of this fuel removal subsidy? Because you said it's long overdue. So the implementation process, what is your assessment on that?
Well, when you say implementation process, whether implementation process yesterday, day before yesterday, last year, 10 years ago, or tomorrow, implementation process is right now. However, I am saying that a few things need to have been put in place. Unfortunately, they were not in place. So if those things are not in place, well, then what do you do? So then they say because those things are not in place, you will not try and stop the bleeding? No, that will not be the thing. I am saying you try and stop the bleeding, you begin to juggle a couple of balls in here, a few low hangers that you should do. People should trust you. We do not trust government. And government is putting itself in a position where we should not trust them because they are not living by example. Do what I say and not necessarily what I do. That will not help. Okay? Now, if you have not done all the things that you need to do, and you now come out and say, oh, I'm sorry, there are certain things I need to do, I'm not doing, I will try and tell them to do what I need to do, but it starts from me.
In trying to doing that, I mean, you're talking about the fact that they didn't put things in place. Now, in stopping this bleeding that you talk about, there's been an approval of about 500 billion naira palliatives for Nigerians. So would you also say that that is not enough, or would you say, or would you put a question mark into this palliative that have been approved by the presidency?
I will put a question mark to the extent that we don't have a data print that we can trust and we can say has been verified. Yes, World Bank said they have verified it. Saraki, during his time, said that they had done some forensic to try and find out that we have 12 million Nigerians. It's a good start. Yes, it doesn't get to the root of it. Little that you have done, can we really say that is going to the right source? Allegedly, we hear that some of the names of, I have not seen any, but some of the names that are in there are maybe party appatriatics, party faithfuls, and what have you. Maybe that is true. Maybe it is not true. Look, if we are going to fry groundnuts in front of a blind man, you better be doing a lot of whistling so it doesn't feel that those groundnuts are going on. Now, having said that, 8,000 naira for a household in downtown Ekiti, Kwara Namoda, in the Far East. I'm talking of the village of the poorest of the poor, is something if it gets to them. But the question is, to which trust that is going to get to them? Rita, you are complaining, and I know you are complaining. I'm also complaining. A lot of us are complaining in the city centers.
So what are the economic reforms that you expect? You know, you have so much proverbial words. Probably you could give a word of advice to the government. What do you expect from them?
The economic reforms have to be integrated, integrated. Not just the federal government, not just the state government, not just the National Assembly, not just the State Assembly, not just name it, the local government chairman. All of us must put something down the table. It's easy for me to point a finger. Don't forget, 4 are pointing at me. What about me? Okay, I'm not government, all right? Okay, I'm supposed to be middle class. What exactly is it that I'm doing within my environment to try and help? One of them, for instance, I can give you 2 examples. That, okay, I am glad to have a car. Yes, I find it difficult to fuel my car here and now. I have spoken to my neighbors. Can we commingle and come together? Your children are going to school. This is going there. If you are going towards this direction,
it's definitely going to be a collaborative effort. Akin, I mean,
it's very, very important, Rita. Look, it's easy for us to sit down and not be pointing at government. I know government has its own fault. I'm not saying that. But government will not do everything for us. Help yourself to be able to help government. While at the same time, we put them on the tenterhooks. We tell them a lot of things are not moving right. Policies are different directions, are saying different things. So Mr. President has to sit down and say, yes, the suffering of the people is so dire, and he has said that, I know, but all the other agencies of government must toe the line.
Definitely. We could actually go on and on from what you're saying, talking about collaborative effort. And, you know, on easy lines ahead, that where's the ground, there's still a lot of expectation that we deserve or that people are expecting from President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Thank you so much for your wise words. And NC Continental Prime, thank you so much.
Rita, don't forget the president said that don't pity him. Don't pity him.
Okay.
He asked for the job. He has to get it done. And start by giving us good example. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.